Hello everyone, this is Steven from the Even Steven channel, and today we are taking a look at the CZ P-01. So what is the P-01? Take a quick look at the box first. There's nothing really special about the box. If you see other CZ handguns, it's kind of the same packaging. You have your handgun, put aside a second, your kind of pull-through, cleaning brush, some literature here. This is kind of CZ's current standard packaging for pretty much all of their handguns. But what we're here to talk about is the CZ P-01. Now what is it? This is a double single action hammer fired semi-automatic 9mm handgun. Now you see it says CZ P-01. CZ likes to put CZ75 on a lot of their guns, even the ones that are really pushing the boundaries of what is a CZ75 variation. The original CZ75, as I understand it, has a cast slide and a cast frame, so they're both steel, and those are kind of semi hand finished. The P-01 is designed to be a more compact version, so this is the compact size as opposed to the full size. It has a milled aluminum frame and a milled steel slide. And the reason CZ did that was because they wanted a NATO certified gun, and one of the requirements for NATO certified guns was complete interchangeability. So that didn't necessarily result in a better gun, but one with different manufacturing techniques. So let's talk about the gun. We'll start with the magazine, and I'll get this out of the way real quick. Unfortunately, this is a 10-round magazine. This is a CZ factory 10-round magazine. I live in New Jersey, unfortunately, and I am restricted to 10-round magazines, also unfortunately. This is a standard CZ factory magazine. They're a little expensive, maybe $40 each. There's also the Metgar brand, which actually I prefer, because the CZ magazines have this kind of hollow base, where the Metgar ones are more rounded and I think just kind of feel better in the gun, to be honest. So I prefer the Metgar one. But we'll continue bottom to top. We have very good rubber texturing on the sides. Actually, I like this. It fills the hand very nicely. CZ 75s and 75 compacts all have really good ergonomics. The gun is very thick in the grip, as you can see, and has decent texturing in the front and back. But just the ergonomics of it in your hand, it just feels very good. Magazine release on the left side. My understanding is the magazine release is reversible. However, reversing the magazine release is not easy. That's probably a gunsmith task. This particular version has a decocker on the hammer. So the P-01 is. And it decocks not fully, but more to the half cock or the takedown position, which is odd. The sights are a little bit small, honestly. They're a little small. They don't. Just overall, they're a little small, and I feel like modern sights tend to be a little bigger. These are luminescent sights. They're not night sights. However, they will glow for a short amount of time afterwards. And they, for a price point, I guess they kind of work. I like the slide serrations in the rear and the forward. You can rack the gun this way or this way. The slide is pretty smooth. This is, of course, the but the famous inverse slide rails, where instead of the slide wrapping around the frame wraps around the slide. Have a large slide release. Nice large ejection port, decently big. Nice large trigger guard, trigger, accessory rail, front serrations like I mentioned, front sights. Overall, I think the finish, particularly the outside finish of the gun, is pretty excellent. It has a very nice, I think they call it polycoat on it, and I do like it. We do a very quick disassembly. And one way you can disassemble is by decocking to the takedown position. And I'm going to pull back slightly, lining up with these tabs. And then using a magazine, I'm going to push this out. Holding it there still, holding it back slightly, I'm going to pull that out. The gun comes apart pretty easily. You have non-captive recoil spring and guide rod, barrel, a single kind of locking block, I guess, on top of the barrel, kind of high power-ish like. The inverse rails, like I talked about, makes for a short slide. Inside this, you can see how this is aluminum. Inside, this is not really finished or painted in any way. Although internally, I'm not an expert. Internally, it seems like the quality of the machining is all very good. And putting it back together is just going reverse. Barrel in there to make sure I get my recoil spring. I don't believe that this matters which way this goes. A little bit of a nuisance getting this back in place. There we go. Back to the takedown position, and then smack that in place. There we go. The gun is double or single action, so the double action pull is kind of heavy and creepy and long. Single action is kind of where it's at. It's much better. It's not amazing, but you can see there's a little bit of creep here, a little bit of, and then break. So single action is probably where you want to be anyway. Now this gun has been pretty much 100% reliable for me. I think I've put, I've had it for a long time. I'd say I've put at least 1,000 rounds through this gun. So it has been 100% reliable for me. And it should be. As a NATO certified gun, it really should be that reliable. Accuracy, I think, is okay. It's probably on par with any of the other CZs, SIGs, Beretta, HKs. It is combat accurate, and it's not to be too cliche. It's one of those guns where you say the accuracy is probably more on the shooter than the gun. It's on par with basically everything else on there, out there. Like I said, SIG, Beretta, H&K, all the Smith & Wesson, all the top tier handguns, really pretty much just about shoot the same. And the CZ P-01 is no different. I will know that with an aluminum frame and a compact size, it has just a little bit more snap than some guns. Just a little bit more than the full size, say, P-09 that I also have. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I have to add to it? I mean, there's the lanyard loop, okay. It's a little dated. We don't really do lanyard loops anymore, but I understand it's kind of a military sidearm. It's been accurate enough, it's been reliable, it's been durable. I don't think I have any major negative complaints. Out of the box, the sights seem a little small. I think this needs a bigger sight picture. Otherwise, the CZ P-01 is one of those kind of mid-sized, or I don't know if this is truly a compact gun, but mid-sized dual guns that kind of flex in a few different roles. Could be holding the fence, could be concealed carry, definitely a range gun, all those things. So without rambling too much, I think I'm going to end the video here. CZ P-01. Definitely recommend. My only complaint would be upgrading the sights. Otherwise, I really have nothing else to add. It's a well put together, accurate, reliable, durable firearm. Let me just center this a little bit to the camera. So this has been Steven with the Even Steven channel. My review of the CZ P-01. Thank you and goodbye.